Hi and welcome back to my channel. This video is so exciting because we're doing the first Q&A. I mean, we had a boarding school Q&A, so if you're interested, go watch that. But I think this is the first personal Q&A that we've ever had, actually. To address the elephant in the room, I am ill.
I am mentioning this because whenever I did voiceovers and I was a bit sick, people told me I sound like a chain smoker, which I'm not. So yeah, just wanted to address that.
In case you're new to the channel, my name's Sofia. I study film in London, and hopefully this video will get you to know me better. This video is going to be more of a sit down and chit chat video, so grab a snack, grab your tea, your coffee. You can put me in the background while you do something else. Yeah, let's get into the video. So I asked you questions over on my Instagram as well as on the YouTube community page, which I'm always so hesitant to use because I don't actually expect people to answer. But some of you did, which was very surprising. So the first question is, would you recommend studying in London? I am very much a city person. I've always known that I wanted to move to a big city just because I need the noise, I need the energy, I need to constantly be surrounded by different people from different places doing different things because that excites me and that makes me feel alive. For the type of person that I am, I would definitely suggest moving to London. However, I have friends who would rather study in a small university town. There's definitely downsides to living in such a big city, but equally there's so much opportunity, which is exciting. In a short answer, I'd say yes, I would recommend studying in London. Next question, fate. Yes or no? Do I believe in fate? In some way, I do believe that we have some sort of free will, but I do believe that there are some things that are meant for you and there are some experiences that you were meant to live through. I think we have the power to change some things. What is your opinion / experience of boarding at a college / school? I have videos on that if you're interested to watch them. I got very lucky with the school that I went to. It really shaped me into the person that I am today. It was such a great environment for me to be bigger and louder than I perhaps could have been in other schools. Living where you study was interesting, and I sort of do that now as well in uni. Another boarding school question while we're on the topic. Do you miss your boarding school era? Yeah and no. The best thing about it was that I was living with my best friends, and I suppose that it was a safe space. There was always a show happening, there was always an exhibition, there was always a trip, an activity to do, which was very fun. It was also great that I didn't have to cook my own food, which I have to do now, and it's not that big of a task, but you know, I suppose I miss that system that held you up. How do you manage a YouTube channel and film school? That is a great question. Well, right now, at the start of the semester, it's easier to manage just because we don't have that many projects happening yet. But when it picks up, it picks up. That's why last semester, I wasn't posting as frequently. In a more practical sense, I think what helps me is to set targets. Like for example, okay, this week, I'm going to film and edit and post a video. And then I know that that's something that I intend to do. So I prioritize it. Also, allowing myself to be flexible. Like I'm not going to strain myself to exhaustion just to make sure that I post. Being disciplined, but not perfect. Or like being consistent, but not perfect. Whatever the phrase is, you get what I'm saying. What was the most difficult part and the most enjoyable part about making short films or your uni portfolio overall? Having a crisis film portfolio, so I need some advice. I don't miss applying to uni. I don't. It was so unnecessarily stressful and so time consuming. I feel like once you're here, you neglect all the effort that you've put in order to get in. The film that I applied to uni with, I'll link it up here. My main challenge was the fact that I was at home at the time and I wanted to apply to England and America. Yet the people that I had available around me that could act, like they can speak English, but I made the decision to make a film without dialogue, which was a challenge, but it allowed me to think so creatively and understand how visual language can be effective as a storytelling device. Sometimes your limitations and what you think is holding you back is actually your biggest advantage and allows you to be more creative than you would have been otherwise. In terms of advice, don't put immense pressure on yourself to create something groundbreaking. We as creative people, particularly in this industry, try to make each of our projects the greatest film ever made, which is a great ambition to have, but sometimes it's healthier to realize that I'd rather have something simple and strong and well built as opposed to breaking all the rules before you even get to understand them. I believe that a simple story is incredibly effective. I'm in no shape or form suggesting that you hold yourself back from creating something unconventional. By any means, I think do that. But don't set out to create something that has never been done before, especially when you're only starting out. Okay, so I have two questions that sort of go with one another. The first one is, what languages do you speak and what ones would you like to learn? I speak 4 languages. Those are the ones that I'm confident in because I have a beginner conversational level in Italian, but it's very beginner because I can understand it and I can order food and I can sort of communicate, but making up sentences on my own is difficult, so I'm not counting it as a language. But the languages that I do speak, English, of course. I am from Moldova, so my first language is Romanian, sunt din Moldova. Și deja aud toți românii în comentarii să vorbească despre accentul meu. Mie foarte îmi place accentul meu și eu cred că e foarte super. And because Moldova is a post-Soviet country, I also speak Russian. Я не часто говорю по-русски, я лучше понимаю русский, чем говорю. I taught myself French. Of course, we studied French in school. I don't know one person who's learned a language from school because neither have I with French, but I took it upon myself to learn how to speak it, and I feel quite confident in my French speaking abilities, which is a very bold statement considering how French people are. Le français c'est ma langue préférée de le parler. Bah oui, voilà. Those are the languages that I speak. Another language related question is, why is your English so good? And why is your accent American if you're always in the UK? I learned English when I was very young, and I did that by spending a year at an international school. It was like an American international school, which is why my accent is more American, I suppose. I guess it's because my accent has sort of settled in. I can attempt to do an English accent, which I won't do just because I know a lot of people from the UK watch my videos. I do notice it affecting some of my words. Anyway, it imprints in very interesting ways. I really want to start a channel, but I'm scared people will find it. How do you overcome that? That is actually a great question. You should just start it. And I know that is the most basic answer ever, but I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel. I mean, I had a YouTube channel when I was very young, but then I always had that aspiration of starting it again just because it's always been something that I enjoyed doing. I guess the thing that helped me was coming to terms with it, like, yeah, people are gonna see it. So what? You shouldn't hold yourself back from not doing something that you want to do because someone else will potentially think that you're weird. So what? Like, it doesn't matter. And if anything, less people have told me I'm weird for doing YouTube or have looked at me weird when I'm filming. And more people have appreciated the content that I make, and more people have come up to me and told me that they watch my videos and they actually enjoy them, which is always a crazy feeling. I am done holding myself back. Most of the time, it's all in your head. It's almost like take yourself out of it and imagine if one of your peers started a YouTube channel. Would you think that's weird? I'm not trying to say that, oh, I find it so easy to just put up my camera and film now. Like, no. And especially with this video, because I was actually talking to my friend and I was telling her, I feel so ridiculous doing a Q&A. Who do I think I am? It feels weird. It feels weird. But then I was like, you know what? I really want to do this and I don't care. Like, if people don't ask me any questions, that's fine. And I was shocked by the amount of people that actually ask questions. And the reason why I'm saying this is because we always think of the negative outcome, but we never consider the positives that could come out. If you're even considering starting a YouTube channel, I say do it. Favorite London memory. This one's actually an old one. It's from 2021 when I was still at boarding school. We had a drama trip, come to an immersive theater show. And after we watched that, I went over the weekend to my guardian's place. And she's a family friend, truly one of the greatest people I know. She lived in London at the time. And I just remember before falling asleep, I could hear the cars and I could hear the trains and I could just hear the noise. And it was this moment of presence. I am here and this is where I'm meant to be. And I still hold that moment dear to heart, even if I've had otherworldly experiences in London. Seeing Tate McRae in a club for £5, that was great. The same day, actually, we saw Furry Parade and the Santa Claus Parade. But that's what I love about London. Like, you can go out and so much stuff will happen in a day. And this is the last question that I selected. What would 5-year-old Sophia be proud of 18-year-old Sophia for? I think children, generally speaking, are some of the most fascinating creatures out there, I suppose, because they're not tainted by society. They can be themselves wholeheartedly. If anything, my 5-year-old self would be proud that now, at 18, I strive to be more like her every day. All these past years, I've almost tried to go back to my 5-year-old self and to go back to that person who felt everything intensely, who did what made her truly happy. Talking about presence again, that person who was always 100% grounded in the moment. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video entertaining, calming, informative. Hope to see you next time. Bye.